welcome you to this special press briefing. And this has been dictated by the events that have happened in the university some time back and the disquiet that has been going on, raising a number of questions as to what the university is doing on this matter. What I'm talking about is an update on the case of allegations of sexual harassment and violence against Dr. Eron Lawrence, who was a member of staff. I have my full report written, so you don't have to write a lot. You can get a copy after my presentation. So there has been disquiet that the university was doing nothing to address the allegations of sexual harassment and violence against a senior member of staff of Kyambogo University since it came to the forefront last year. As a result of the silence that ensued after the allegation came to light, many stakeholders have speculated and sent forth their speculation to be believed as facts. Some have accused management, which I heard, as being complacent and therefore trying to protect Dr. Eron, while others have castigated me as the one who is witch-hunting Dr. Eron. Today's press briefing is meant to put the record right and to appeal to our stakeholders, including different embassies that support the university in various projects, to believe that the university is doing whatever it takes to address this unfortunate situation without going against the policies and set guidelines to be used in handling such matters. By a senior member of Kyambogo University management, among others, one, pledged to take all necessary actions to address the gross misconduct or criminal behavior in accordance with the university's internal disciplinary rules, taking into account its policy of zero tolerance to sexual harassment. And two, management informed the public that it had instituted a committee to investigate the allegations, and if the alleged perpetrator was found culpable, he would be held accountable in line with the provisions in the university's human resource regulations on gross misconduct. It was established that the alleged perpetrator of sexual harassment and violence was Dr. Eron Lawrence, and the victim was a minor with low vision who was an O-level student and beneficiary of All We See Is Possibility project supporting students with visual impairment. This is a project that was running in the Faculty of Special Needs Education, dubbed All We See Is Possibility, which was supporting people with visual impairment, both with low vision and people who are blind. When he allegedly committed the criminal offense, Dr. Eron Lawrence was not only a senior lecturer, but the Dean Faculty of Special Needs and Rehabilitation, coordinating the project I have referred to above, and had been assigned the duties and responsibilities of the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Finance and Administration. The investigations. The Investigations Committee conducted the inquiry from 13th November 2023 to 19th January 2024, when it handed over the report to the Vice Chancellor, who conveyed it to the acting University Secretary to commence the disciplinary action. The investigation found Dr. Eron culpable for gross misconduct of sexual harassment, that is one, sexual harassment, two, culpable on acts or omissions that damage the image and status of the university, and three, unprofessional or unethical conduct. I think along the way there have come other charges of insubordination and also abscondment of duty. It is worth noting that since the investigations commenced, Dr. Eron Lawrence has never appeared on campus and his whereabouts is unknown. He has therefore absconded from duty as well. Submission to Appointments Board. The acting University Secretary presented the report to Appointments Board during its meeting held on 15 February 2024. The board agreed to study the report further and reconvene to handle it in accordance with its disciplinary rules. And the board is scheduled to further consider this case on Wednesday, 3rd April 2024. So what we are saying is the investigation committee has completed its work. So it is not true that the university has done nothing. And it has found Dr. Eron culpable on a number of cases or charges to be preferred against him, because he was invited in writing to appear before the committee and answer some questions, and he willfully decided not to come. I want to comment on police investigations. The university is also aware that the Police Criminal Investigations Department also concluded investigations into the matter, and the Director of Public Prosecutions, upon perusal, sanctioned the charge of aggravated defilement against Dr. Eron Lawrence. He has reportedly jumped police bond, and efforts are being made to apprehend him and produce him in court. You must be aware of the appeal by the police to the public that whoever knows his whereabouts, he should inform the police so that the police can apprehend him. So in conclusion, the university management recognizes that the action of Dr. Eron Lawrence has affected the image and stature of the university. However, based on the investigation report, the university pledges to do all it takes to pursue the disciplinary matter to its logical conclusion. Now that management has identified that the actions tantamount to gross misconduct, what is going to follow? The university is going to produce charges against Lawrence Eron, present them to the Appointments Board, and he will be required to appear before the Appointments Board and defend himself. That's the rules of natural justice. I want you members of the media to know that the university has systems, it has guidelines, it has procedures, and that is what has caused peace in this university. We have policies, guidelines, and procedures to follow on every aspect of life in the university. And the latest document we have developed are disciplinary rules and regulations, how to discipline members of staff. And that is cardinal. You cannot bend to any pressure to dismiss somebody or to interdict somebody without going through the whole process. That's why it has taken so long. The charges, the report, the investigation must be conducted, reports must be written, you must give the person a fair hearing, an opportunity to appear and defend themselves, and then you charge the person, the matter goes to Appointments Board, the board studies the report and invites this person for hearing, and then takes a decision. And the decision depends on the nature of the conduct. And in our human resources manual, gross misconduct attracts one of the two punishments. One, you can be retired in public interest. That means that we lose interest in you working with us, and we say, go, you are no longer part of us. And that way we give you some terminal benefits, and we say bye-bye. The next punishment is dismissal. You are summarily dismissed from service in the university. And that means you must leave the university with nothing. Even if you have worked for 40 years and you are dismissed, you just leave the university, and the university has no obligation to pay you anything. So those are the two punishments arising out of gross misconduct. Now, in the case of Eron, I've read you the three, I think, offenses committed. And the third offense that has come on board is abscondment. Because since this matter came to light, he has not appeared here on campus. So he absconded from work. And abscondment means that you have willfully got yourself out of employment. And our rules demand that abscondment for 21 days or longer, you must be subject to disciplinary action, which I said is a gross misconduct and attracts retirement in public interest or dismissal. So what we are saying is the university has been following its procedures. The university has lost many cases for failure to follow the laid down procedures, for being anxious and you want to dismiss this person very quickly. They got caught and they get hefty awards. So the university is careful. Yes, this person has done wrong, but what do our procedures say in such a case? It says 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's why this matter has taken a bit of time, but I think we are at the tail end of it. So I want you to give assurance to the public that the university is doing what it takes to conclude this matter. And to assure members of especially our embassies, those governments, foreign governments, that support our projects in the university. Because they have said that Kyambogo University does not give a lot of attention to ethical conduct. That's not true. You may want to give a lot of attention to ethical conduct, but you must follow certain procedures laid down. When somebody goes to court against the university, they will say, did you follow the procedures? And if they find fault with the way you handled the matter, you lose the case. So you don't want to give that opportunity to a person who has done wrong. So you go slowly by slowly. That's why some cases take years. Years. This one has not taken a long time. However sensitive it was. And these NGOs who deal with the people with the visual impairments have been around parading all sorts of lies. They appear to be more concerned than us, and even more concerned than the victim. I don't know why. But I would urge them to give the university an opportunity to handle the matter. Because stampeding the university, you are not going to get justice. Yes, the guy did wrong, but he must get justice. He must, and justice takes a long time. And that's what we have been doing. So as we seek to be a center of academic and professional excellence, which is our motto, and in pursuance of this matter, the university will take into account its core values, specifically integrity, professionalism, as well as its cardinal principles of fairness, impartiality, and accountability, and the policy of zero tolerance to sexual harassment. We don't want to intervene in the police investigations, because that is a different matter. What we are doing as a university is administrative disciplinary procedure. It's not criminal. The criminal element is handled by the police. That's why they have put out a notice that whoever sees this guy, tell us where he is, and we apprehend him. And in that criminal matter, you must produce evidence 100% incriminating the guy. If there is any doubt in the evidence you produce, the guy may go scot-free. In our administrative procedures, we ask, is there some damage done? And we say yes. So you get the punishment. I'd wanted the US to join me so that he answers all the questions. Any questions, comments? Yes?
Professor, I want to comment from you. In your report, you did mention the number of victims that have fallen under the hands of Professor Dr. Eron. Then number two, we are also aware that there were staff that were actively involved.
The university was investigating this particular case. This is what was reported to us. No any other case was reported to us. So we are not aware of any other cases involving Eron. But this committee, the university was concerned about this particular case. That's one. Two, the university is not aware of the negotiations that were going on between the parents and the members of staff. We are not aware of that. Maybe it was going on, maybe it wasn't. And because all we were doing was to investigate the nature of the conduct of Dr. Eron. By talking to the parents, by talking to the girl who was a victim, I think, and any other person who had information. These Nudipu guys, the NGOs. Now, about the project. I had a meeting with the project coordinator from the Netherlands. She came to see me about twice. And we all agreed that this was a very unfortunate situation. It was not the university that raped the girl. It was the person. You see? So the punishment must be borne by the person. And we all agreed that it was very unfortunate. But in my language, they say, "Stane tabura mahand." I don't know whether Nakato you can translate that in Uganda. Satan will always find a way. Satan to get to you, not you Nakato, but to a person. So we have agreed to change the leadership of the project. But of course, the guy is not here, so he cannot continue leading the project. So we have put in place another team to lead the project. And that is what we have agreed with the project funders who are from the Dutch government, that we change the leadership, we apologize to whoever was involved, and ensure that such an action will not arise again. And it's not only that project, the Dutch government funds other projects in the university. That's why the Dutch government was saying, but Kyambogo, your ethical standards are not very high. And we have had an interaction with them to assure them that, yes, this unfortunate situation happened, but it cannot be blamed on the entire university. It can be blamed on the person. And also how we handled it was according to our procedures and guidelines, which you cannot go over. So that's what we are doing with the embassy. The project will continue, but we have told them we are going to improve the way we handle ethical standards and issues. And one of the things they told us is you expedite the development of your anti-sexual harassment policy. That policy is ready. It's going to top management, and very soon will be approved, so that whoever is involved in such acts, the law will take its course. But as I said before, the university is bureaucratic. It's run on procedures and systems, and you cannot go beyond this. It's not like the private sector, where you do something wrong and the MD sacks you that day. No. The Employment Act has made it very difficult to sack employees. You study the Employment Act. They have the right of every block along the chain. But in the private sector, they will sack you and give you money and you go home. You can't do that in a university. That's why it has taken this long. But as I said, we are coming to the end of it. Yes, Mchara Nakato.
Thank you, Professor. I want to find out from you. You pointed out that the board will meet to make its decision on the report that was produced, and that also.
Yes, I'm Sarongo Arthur Katongole, the acting University Secretary at Kyambogo University. At the same time, the accounting officer of this university. The question whether Dr. Eron, what will happen if he doesn't appear? We're aware that even the police is looking for him. We are aware of that. But our disciplinary rules of procedure provide for that. That the moment the appointments board prefers charges against any staff, and the staff is supposed to appear, what we are supposed to do is to serve that staff. And there are different ways of serving him or her. If we know his place, we shall do that and take the service to his place. If there is anybody else who is there, maybe a child or a wife, we shall do that. and immediately we shall have to swear an affidavit on what we have done in the service. If we don't get any of his relatives, even himself not being available, we can even use his email to serve him, but come back and swear an affidavit and then indicate to the appointments about what we have done. And failure to reach him, we shall come back to you as the media, and we shall now publish in the papers. If he doesn't come, the disciplinary rules of procedure provide that in his absence, if he fails to come, then the decision can be taken ex parte. In his absence, the board can proceed based on the evidence available, take a decision, either convicting him or acquitting him. But you know, as journalists, there are consequences if you don't appear. Always the board will look at only one side, and that's what we will take as facts. So whether he has come or he has not come, a decision must be taken by the board. But we shall use all the necessary procedures of serving him. Whether he's within the country, whether he's hiding somewhere, we shall use all the possible and legally agreed serving methods. Okay? But a decision must be taken in his presence or when he's not there. Yes.
Mr. Katumba, just what time frame does the service take?
Okay.
Yes.
Our service, according to our rules of procedure, from today, we must serve him and he must respond within 14 days. So within 14 days, even in the appointments board, they were asking us, because they want to expedite and handle this case and conclude it. So within 14 days, we shall have gone through the entire process. And for me, that's what I'm seeing, because it has been it delayed because of the investigations. But after the investigations, everything is okay, because there are timelines within which we must actually comply and have a decision. We didn't put him on half pay, because half pay comes as a result of an interdiction, and the interdiction comes when you are still conducting investigations, to avoid somebody coming to office and then be able to interrupt with the investigations. But because the investigations are concluded, and because we don't see him, we couldn't continue paying him. So effective March, the whole month of the salary for March, we have withheld it.
March 2024?
Yes, March 2024. We have withheld it because he's not working and we cannot continue spending money on him. So if he appears and is acquitted by the board, then we shall pay him effective 1st March. If the board takes another decision, then we shall have stopped paying him in February. But effective March, we have withheld the salary to him, 100%.
Dr. Eron was a dean of the faculty when he committed this crime. But since that time, I think his term of office was ending 31st December. So since 1st January, the university, the faculty elected a new dean, Dr. Patrick Ojok. He's the new dean of the faculty. And is also the one responsible for caretaking the project that we talked about, or we see our possibilities. So the only effect the absence of Eron will have is that his load, the amount of teaching he was supposed to do, will now have to be shared among the other members of staff. But the university is aware of this gap that has been created, and we shall try and fill the gap. One other thing I wanted to respond, I've got many calls from your colleagues of the media, and they were asking me why we replaced him as DVC Finance and Administration. I wanted to make this clear. We did not replace him, but Dr. Eron was acting. During the time he was acting, we had advertised that position. And he could not apply because he did not qualify. So people applied, interviews were conducted, and we identified and appointed a substantive deputy vice chancellor in charge of finance and administration. So this was a procedure that was already ongoing. So it's not that we replaced him as a way of punishing him. His term came to an end, and we advertised. He couldn't apply because he didn't qualify. We got interested people who qualified, and the job is now filled. So we did not replace him. The process was underway.